Nice to see you guys. Welcome. Tonight's class will be a 30-minute Pitta balancing class. And it's really for those times when you're feeling like you may have overexerted yourself, or you're feeling those sorts of like irritability, overheated, a little bit hot-headed. Um, Even if you've exercised intensely and you're feeling like you need a cool down, this would be a great practice for then. And it's 31 degrees here on the Gold Coast. It's still really hot, so it's a nice time to balance pitta. So you make yourself comfortable sitting down, have any props available that you might need, and relax your shoulders, hands on your knees or in your lap. And just take a moment to center yourself, coming into your breath, becoming aware of the environment you're in, the space around you. We'll start our cooling off practice, our restorative, slowing down practice with just a few breaths of letting go, a few breaths in just complete quiet, nothing else to do and nowhere else to be. Taking two more breaths here. Hmm. Oh man, what a wonderful practice in and of itself to just come into stillness. All right. So we'll practice Brahmari breathing today, which is a humming breath. So just going with what feels comfortable for you. The really general, easy approach to doing it is to just have your hands in your lap, take a breath in, and as you exhale, gently hum through your throat for the entire length of your exhalation. If you'd like to go the whole thing, bringing either the tips of your fingers or your thumbs to that little piece of cartilage at the entry of your ear. And we're not going to push it forcefully, but just pressing it in so that you're closing off the sense of sound and really um, amplifying that sensation of vibration through your throat. And when you hum with that sense of sound closed off, you'll feel the vibration amplified all the way up through the throat, through the third eye area, up through the sinuses, right up into the crown of the head. So we'll do that for about 5 rounds, just taking your time, going in your own pace. Mm. Gradually building in the depth of your breath as well. Nice deep inhales. Mm. Mm. 2 more rounds. Mm. Mm. Lower your hands to your lap. And maintaining a nice full deep breath. And we'll do 5 rounds of Goranga breathing. So we're taking a breath in. Breathing out, exhale, sinking our outward breath. And we'll begin on the next round. Inhale. And say the sound. Go. Inhale. Gora. 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 One more time. Gora. And relax into your regular breathing pattern. Opening your eyes and coming over onto all fours. Stacking your wrists above your wrists, your shoulders above your wrists, and your hips above your knees, spreading your fingers and thumbs nice and wide. And we'll move into some really nice, gentle cat cows, starting with small movements, tilting your pelvis forward, looking forward, and arching through your spine. As you exhale, tucking your tailbone, looking toward your navel, arching your spine in the opposite direction. When you feel the urge to inhale, inhale, open and lengthen. When you feel the natural urge to exhale, switching. You might like to close your eyes and just keep on moving in this way, coordinating your breath and your movement. Tonight's practice, it's not so much about going full range of motion or getting the most out of every pose, but exploring just being in the pose, going through the techniques with presence and softness of mind, not trying to achieve anything, really taking the edge off those tendencies of Pitta to take everything to the nth degree, exploring your edge always, being a little bit competitive with ourselves. Let's do it one more each way. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, rounding through your spine. Good. And dropping your hips to your heels, walking your hands forward, lowering your forehead down to the floor. Softening into your hips and spine. Just taking a couple of breaths here. So, with today's practice, if anything, instead of trying to achieve something or nail poses, just really indulging in the experience of every breath, just the fact that you've shown up, nothing else to do and nowhere else to be, just relaxing into your practice, into your body and your mind. Slowly coming up to sit on your heels, taking a breath, turning your palms up in receptivity. Just inhale and exhale. Now taking your hands forward again, coming back onto all fours. Inhale, raising your right arm up. And exhale, taking your arm down and through, bringing your shoulder to the floor, turning your head to the side, floating the left arm up, and exhale, placing your hand on your sacrum or wrapping your hand around to catch hold of the front of your right thigh. But you know, another really nice soft way to do it is to just flop your arm over your back and gently encourage the shoulder back. And dropping into your breath. One more breath here. Slowly release. Pressing yourself back up onto all fours. Inhale, float the left arm up. Exhale, taking your arm down and through, shoulder to the floor, floating the right arm up, placing your hand on your sacrum, just taking your arm over or taking hold of the front of your left thigh. And then gently drawing your top shoulder back as you continue to breathe. All right, release. Come back onto all fours. And from here, making your way up into a very gentle downward dog, just as a transitional pose, stretching out through the backs of your legs. Good. Then inhaling, raise your right arm up, right arm, right leg, and step your right foot forward. Spin your back foot down at a 45-degree angle, keeping your knee bent. Cartwheel your arms up to standing, straightening out through that right leg. So your right toes are pointing forward and your front heel is aligned with the middle of your back foot. Arms are out at shoulder height, sliding your hips to the left as you reach your hand over to the right, taking your arm up, stacking your arms above one another, firming through the right thigh. Further still, you can lower your arm down alongside your ear. Or another nice variation is to, again, just drop your arm back behind you like we just did with our thread the needle, turning either to look up at the ceiling or down towards your foot. One more breath here. Soft bend through the right knee, leading up with your top fingertips. Inhale, using your core to come all the way up to standing, rotating your feet around to the left. So the back foot's at a 45-degree angle, left foot pointing forwards. And shift your hips to the right, reaching to the left. Nice big glide through the ribs. And turning to look up toward the top fingertips or wrapping your hand down behind you. Option to take your arm alongside your ear if you like, or wherever it feels comfortable. Nice and firm through your legs. One more breath here. Soft bend through the left knee and floating the arm up to come up, reaching through your fingertips, coming back to center just for a moment, and then turning your right toes out. We're going to go into half moon. So I'm going to go into it in stages. You just stop where it feels comfortable for you. Inhale, shifting your weight over to the right, reaching your arm out to the right, keeping that back toe floating on the floor. And we're going to tip our body, raising the left arm up, fingertips reaching for the floor. I have a hard time balancing in this pose, so I like to make a little spider hand to help me stay balanced. Flexing your left toes back toward you, but trying to keep your left hip rolling down so you're not splaying your hips open, and this will help keep your core nice and engaged. Another option is to have a little bend in that supporting leg. One more breath here. Good. Soft bend through the right knee. And coming all the way up to stand. Turning the toes over to the left. Bending through that left knee. Gliding over to the left. And taking the hand down as you float that back foot up. You might just be landing here somewhere midair. That's completely fine. And fingertips to the floor. Raising your arm up. Flexing your toes. Legs are nice and switched on. And see if you can gently activate your glutes, so squeezing through the hips to help you create stability in the pose. One more breath. And soft bend through the knee, reach through the fingertips, toes reaching for the floor. And come back to center. Heel toe your feet back in toward each other. Take a breath here. And inhale, reaching up nice and long through your spine. Exhale, folding forward. Coming into a standing forward fold. And cradle your elbows in your hands. You might like to start with a soft bend through your knees to begin. And as you feel your hips and legs start to open and straighten out through your legs, allowing your upper body to be nice and heavy, gravity drawing your torso and the crown of your head down. Finding that sweet spot in the pose that allows you to be engaged in the pose, but relaxed enough that you can kind of shut down awareness of your external environment and turn within. We'll stay here for about another 5 breaths. Firming through your thighs, trying to keep your hips stacked above your heels. You might notice some little micro releases as you continue to hold the pose where you feel like you soften a little deeper into it. Now slowly release your hands to the floor. And we're going to walk our feet out just beyond hip distance apart, and then turn your toes out at a 45-degree angle, lowering your hips down to your heels. Sitting in a wide-legged squat position, garland pose. So just bringing your palms together in front of your heart center, elbows working in to the insides of your legs to help open up through your hips. And then as you press your thumbs into your sternum, lift into the crown of your head, nice and long through your spine, and softly gaze down at the floor. One more breath here. And carefully seeing if you can gracefully lower your hips to the floor. Taking your legs out in front. Move the flesh away from your sitting bones. Flex your toes back towards you and walk your hands down your legs. Folding forward. We're going to take 10 breaths here. So you might spend your first few breaths kind of coming into the pose and settling in. And then try to again switch off, turn in, and just be relaxed and present. Firming your thighs, lifting through your spine. And remembering it's not all about flexibility. Some days we might like to explore depth and flexibility in the pose, and other times it's simply just assuming the posture and maybe just letting go, maybe just relaxing or moving around a little, feeling into different areas of tension, or just that yummy lullaby feeling of rocking your body a little from side to side, simply relaxing without any real clear intent. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Come back up to sitting. Bring your right foot in, bringing your heel in close toward your hip, placing your right hand back behind you and your left hand in front of your knee, turning to look over your right shoulder. So again, it's up to you how much you want to amplify the stretch in this pose. You might like just a gentle, nice wringing out of your spine type of a stretch. Or if you want to go deeper, like hooking your elbow, taking your elbow to the outside of your knee, if you like, totally up to you. Slowly return to center and change sides. Making your way into the twist. Using your left hand behind you for support. And turning to look over your left shoulder, keeping that knee hugging in nice and close to your torso. For any of our pregnant ladies online, you can go into an open twist. So left leg in and twist to the right so you're not feeling any constriction. Slowly release, come back to center. Give your legs a little shake. Um, for the next pose, we'll go into hero pose, and I'll let you decide on whether you would like to go into reclining hero. We have this pose, and then we have a supported shoulder stand afterwards. So kind of only 2 more poses to go before we wind down. So hero pose, you come onto sitting on your heels. And this is already enough for some people if you have tight hips or just tension in your legs. Sometimes this just feels like the most appropriate position. So start sitting on your heels. If you feel like you could go further, walking your knees and your lower legs apart so that you've got enough space to sit in between your heels. Modified version is to sit on a block or bolster or a cushion. This is a really nice, relaxing modification. Other option is to stay in this position, seated upright, or you can lay back, bringing the bolster right into your sacrum, lowering your spine over the bolster. And the full variation is to remove the bolster and just go straight back to the floor. Let's stay here for another 5 breaths. Anytime throughout your practice you find intrusive thoughts or just noisy thoughts coming in from the day or things you got to do later, just allowing them to float upwards and away and bringing your focus back to your breath, back to the sensations in your body. One more breath here. Now finding your way up out of the pose, taking your forearms to the floor, and then hands to the floor, pressing yourself up to sit. And moving the bolster to the side if needed. And time for a very easy supported shoulder stand. If you have a wall available, you might like to place your feet on the wall with your hips about 30 centimeters away from the wall, arms down by your sides. And you can press your feet into the wall, keeping your knees bent, going into a supported half shoulder stand. If you don't have a wall available, that is okay. We can use our hands. So you're going to use a bit of momentum to rock your hips up and catch your hips in your hands, and your arms will prop you up. So elbows in a right angle, and you'll feel the weight of your body kind of solid in your upper arms, and hands create that nice foundation for your sacrum. So just rocking your legs up and over your head, and then hips land in your hands. And then it's up to you if you just want to keep your legs over or if you want to take your legs up, pressing down into your upper arms. If you're familiar with shoulder stand and you do want to explore going all the way up, go ahead. We'll stay here for about 10 breaths. Just had a little pitta moment then. I was like, yeah, I want to go full. And I got up there and I was like, this is overexerting myself. Return back to half shoulder stand and go, ease. Ease is the intent. One more breath here. And slowly, carefully lower your hips to the floor. Hug your knees in. And lay flat for a moment. Take a little mini Shavasana. And gently rock your head from side to side, releasing through your neck and throat. Good. And come back to center. Just taking a really modest twist, taking one leg over your body, just gently. And come back to center, over to the other side. And come back to center. Hugging your knees in and taking any final poses or stretches that your body is craving. And then make yourself comfortable in Shavasana. Laying on your back with your legs out, arms by your sides, palms up. And if you can, taking something over your face to block out the light and help you really turn in and draw away from your externals. You guys keep lying where you are. I'm going to sit up so I can guide you through just a little bit of a relaxation. Just taking this time at the end of your practice to allow all the beautiful benefits of the techniques that we've just practiced assimilate in your mind and body. Relax your feet. Relax your ankles. Soften into your calf muscles. And soften into your knees and thighs. Relax your hips. Soften into your belly. And feel the sides of your torso melting down toward the floor. Relax your chest, your shoulders, and your arms. Soften into your wrists and hands. Become aware of the gentle prickling sensation of prana circulating your palms. Bringing your awareness to your lower back. Feel your sacrum broadening and releasing. Relax your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and your neck. Soften into your face and soften into your jaw. Feel your entire body to be heavy and relaxed. Taking a moment here for a little personal reflection of gratitude and a prayer of appreciation for someone or something, might be multiple things in your life. Taking a moment to acknowledge and give thanks, and feeling the warmth of that gratitude in your heart, feeling it spreading throughout every cell in your body. Continue laying where you are, and we'll finish up our practice with 5 rounds of Garanga breathing. And this time, because we're nice and relaxed, just saying the sound audible enough that you can hear it. So it's just coming out loud enough that you can catch the mantra, resting your mind in the mantra, but exceeding or using as little effort as possible. And just going in your own time for 5 rounds. So beginning whenever you're ready. Goram. Om. 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 One last time. Goram. Slowly waking up your body, wriggling your fingers and toes, gently rocking your head from side to side. And next time you roll your head to the left, rolling your whole body to the left, taking your hands under your cheek and rest for a moment. And then pressing yourself up to sit. And we'll close off our practice by bringing our palms together in prayer position, offering our respects to each other, taking a small bow, and bowing once more to offer our respects to the Supreme Soul. Namaste.